Hey, show number, what is this, 293? We're live, Sunday before Thanksgiving. Just trying to get things organized here. I'm using Chrome this time. There we go. That looks a little better. Everybody's doing well. Been scrambling around here. I'll move the tab over here and see what's up with Flickr. Everybody's been doing well, kind of getting ready for Thanksgiving here in a few days. There we go. And hope everybody is doing well. Let's see if somebody shows up here. Oh, log in. All right. It's not letting me do that. Hopefully somebody else joins in here. Although it is a busy day, it has been kind of crazy. A lot of people out, people out shopping. That is for sure. Now I got to check the code for that. Please update your password. Yeah, okay. Temporary password. Right. Here we go. Apologize for that. Okay, please follow instructions to set a new password. Sign in. All right. Let's try this again. See what we get. See if I can get into a Flickr. I haven't used whatchamacallit? Chrome to log in quite a while. I've been using Firefox for a browser primarily, and but it looks like StreamYard works better for sharing and stuff if you're using Chrome. Let's try that. See if I can get into Flickr here with my new password. Hey, there we go. Which account should we update? I want to update that one. And new password is, let me generate the password here. Sorry about that. Flickr is being a little bit, I guess it's good from the standpoint of getting things properly set up. Let's see. I'm going to copy that. I'm going to do that. And I'm going to set the password there. And hopefully that gets me in. Hey, here's Jim.
No, it's James.
Hey, there you are. How you doing?
Good. It's James.
Yeah.
Right. See you, Dennis. I'll see you on the other side.
Yeah, I'll see you on the dark side.
Hey. There we go. Now, how come my camera went out? Let's see.
I was talking to Dennis on Skype on the other.
Oh, okay. All right.
Now you're good.
Now my camera just went kind of crazy on me there. Let's see what I'm going to remove myself. Huh? Instead of focusing, I'm out of focus. Oh, there I am. Okay.
Yeah, what did you do?
Okay. I don't know what that was. Little bit out of focus there. No, I've been updating Flickr because I haven't logged into Flickr on Chrome. I'm using Chrome here for the first time in StreamYard because of the issues we had last week with.
Listen, I'll be right back.
Okay. There's Wes. Hey, Wes.
Hello.
How's it going?
Pretty good. Just got back from seeing Ford versus Ferrari.
Oh, and the quick review is?
Very good.
Good?
Yeah, it was a really good movie.
Good. Yeah, that's one of the ones I actually said, hey, I might want to actually see that.
Yeah, it's definitely worth seeing.
There's Joe, and hey, there's Dennis.
Hello, guys.
A pub, it looks like. What do we got there? Dennis is in a new location.
Yeah, my son and his mate, they pinched my office for watching NFL play on Fox.
Oh, okay. There you go. You got bumped by the NFL.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I've been expelled.
Okay.
So I'm on the laptop.
Okay. All right. That works. That works. Let's see.
That's the Welsh one.
That's better. Seeing your mother was born in Wales, you should have a Welsh cup.
Oh yeah. Well, that's why I got it.
Okay, I've been having trouble logging into Flickr here, so
Oh, really?
yeah, well, yeah, it's just crazy. I'm going back here. I'm using Chrome to log in, and it looks like the cookie, is different now.
Mm,
So
yeah, it's a constant challenge there.
yeah. So I'm gonna try that. So how's everybody doing this week? We got Thanksgiving in a few days. Anybody? Oh, Dennis doesn't have Thanksgiving.
No, afraid not.
another one. It's another one of our holidays where we celebrate leaving the European continent.
Yeah, I think our next celebration is going to be leaving the European Union.
Yeah.
Well, we got an election between then and now.
You think it's going to happen?
Depends if they get a majority back in the Houses of Parliament, because he's already negotiated the deal. So, but the opposition stopped him putting it through because he hasn't got a majority in the House of Commons.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so they're going to the people. We're having a general election on the 12th. So, depending on how many seats he wins, otherwise it starts all over again.
Oh man.
Yeah,
it's a crazy system, isn't it?
Now, they're going to have to come up with a lot of money to buy out of it, or what?
well, I think they're going to pay him billions over the next X amount of years, aren't they? It's because we got another guy over here, Donald Trump's friend, Nigel Farage. He says he wouldn't pay him nothing. He said, "Come and get stuff."
Oh man, that's funny. I'm sure it all gets sorted out eventually.
Yeah, it's got to come to an end one day.
Yeah, it was supposed to come to an end 2 years ago. I mean, wasn't that basically?
No, 3.5 years ago, the people voted to leave the union 3.5 years back, and it still hasn't happened yet.
Man.
Every time they've tried to do it, the opposition have outvoted them and stopped them. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, that's it seems time flies when you're having fun, I guess.
Yeah, it seems a bit out of order because one of the political parties is actually got a ticket of stopping it altogether. Vote for them, and we're never going to leave, which is really a bit naughty because they've already had a referendum and the majority voted to leave, so they're just totally ignoring the vote from 3 years ago.
Is that Labour?
Liberals, they're actually called the Liberal Democrats, but I think they should drop the bit Democrat because they're obviously ignoring the Democratic vote from 3 years ago as if it never happened.
Oh man, yeah, it's quite an interesting thing you got yourselves into there.
Yeah, well, I think if the Labour gets in, then I might as well book a ticket and emigrate.
Well, the thing is, it's like those people that live in Europe, like Spain and that, and have their pensions shipped over to them.
Yeah.
They have to go back to England to get their pensions because England will put a freeze on it.
No, they will still pay people's pensions because it's an entitlement. But
But will they send it to Spain or Italy, or will they have to come back and get it?
oh no, they'll be allowed to stay there. Like the European citizens that live in this country at the moment, they're going to be allowed to stay.
Right.
It's just that at the moment anybody can come here from Europe, and that's what they want to stop.
Yeah.
We got enough car washers and thieves, so we don't need any more.
It's taken you a few years to figure that whole thing out. That's for
Yeah,
sure.
that's what one of the political people said. That the worst thing is that British people are going to have to wash their own cars from now on.
Yeah. Relearn an old skill.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of relearning old skills, anybody pick up their old skill of buying photography equipment in the last?
Whoa, is that a skill? Is that a skill?
That's a skill. Yeah, with Black Friday coming up, power shopping. So maybe there's some pre-Black Friday deal.
Actually, we know of a Black Friday deal that could possibly affect us all.
Yeah, an Adobe thing, right?
Yeah.
I have you looked at that, Wes? I haven't looked at it yet.
This is the first time I'm hearing anything about it.
Yeah, Joe told me about it, and I said I was going to look at it, and I haven't looked at it yet. So, is it running through Friday, Joe? Is that the deal?
Yeah, it's one of those actual Black Friday, I think, through Cyber Monday deals.
Okay.
It's basically the Adobe suite for a year for $70.
Wow.
For the year.
So if you're willing to buy into Adobe for another year, you can get it for $70. I think it's what, 40% off or something.
Yeah, it's $10 a month for the base, so it's 120. So yeah, I mean that's almost 40% off.
Yeah.
Now, is that for new people signing on as an
No, that's a Black Friday deal. Yeah.
So anyone can call up and say, I want that deal.
Yeah.
Change it out.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a pretty sweet deal if you're, I'm kind of on the fence right now if I'm gonna, even stay with. I'm getting really annoyed with subscriptions.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm kind of on the fence. I don't know if I'm gonna, continue to do this Adobe thing or not.
What would you switch to if you didn't?
Oh, the On-One suite. I mean,
you're not going to do GIMP? Come on.
I know. Sorry, man. Sorry. No, I actually already have the On-One suite. You know what I'm saying? It's on my computer. I just would go to solely using it. I mean, I'm kind of used to using it because I do use it.
Okay.
Mostly as a plugin, but I am used to the On-One suite and it works damn good. You know what I'm saying? So, and now that they've upgraded a couple times, it's quite the manager as well too. So it does quite a bit of stuff, layers and all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah. Okay. All right.
Quite the manager.
Huh. Well, cool. So how much does it cost for the On-One suite that you purchased? I mean, you bought that a couple years ago, right?
Yeah, I bought it.
Yeah, you bought it. Yeah, you acquired it several years ago. So you got a good deal.
I gotta smoke it. Black Friday ain't got nothing on this deal yet.
So you've been using it for a while then. So yeah. It's just it's a matter of whether you just go all the way.
I'm actually a couple generations behind now, actually, but it still works great. You know what I'm saying? It's got all the things that I need. So I would just go to that. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I don't know. I'm just kind of, how you guys feel, man? I'm really sick of, you start looking at all your memberships, no matter what it is, the gym or whatever it is. And, if you're not using it, if it's been probably 6 months,
yep.
Even the ones that you are using, do you really need to pay for that? Is it something, you know what I'm saying? So
yeah. That's one of the things. I mean, that is the it's easy to do a subscription. I mean, from the company side, it makes a lot of sense. But you kind of get lured into it. It's only that much per month, and after a bunch of those, it adds up to quite a bit. So then you
Yeah.
got to go through and figure out.
It's GIMP is a lot cheaper than your Black Friday deal.
Yeah. I was waiting. No subscription required.
No subscription required. And this week I was talking to Jimmy before we came on, and this week I downloaded Darktable and I played with that,
Okay.
and I think it's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and there were some reviews. The guy who was using it said he prefers it to Lightroom because it's got more features. It does things that Lightroom doesn't. You know.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's what I found as well. That it had,
And it manages the images then too. That's the image
Yeah.
manager function.
Yeah.
So that would, yeah.
I stuck the same raw file on, processed in Capture One, Raw Therapy, and Darktable. So you can
Okay.
see, you know, basically you can make them all the same. If you spend enough time playing,
Mhm.
they all do exactly what the Capture One does, which costs $600.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And,
The only issue, and they know that. I mean, Adobe knows that. The more you use it, the ability to go into Lightroom, open it up, and make changes to those images. If you switch to a software, then you're going to have to start all over again on those things. So all those raw files that you brought in and processed in Lightroom, where they're all essentially in the proprietary format until you decide to do something with it, you're going to have to reprocess all of those again in a new.
well, you can still export even if you turn your subscription off. You just can't make any changes.
Oh, okay, all right.
So if you wanted to go back and
we
re-edit
export them all
something,
as PNGs or something like that.
Yeah, if you save them as PNGs or TIFFs, you can dump them straight into GIMP
Yeah,
because that's the same as Lightroom
Yeah.
or Adobe.
and Darktable ties into GIMP directly, right?
Now, Darktable is separate. I think it's Raw Therapy, which
Raw
is
Therapy. Okay,
Raw Therapy is GIMP's raw developer.
okay, all right. But Raw Therapy doesn't do library management.
Now, I mean, I just open up the camera memory
Mm-hmm.
and I just point either Darktable or GIMP or any of them straight to the file, and it downloads everything off your camera.
Yeah, yeah. So Darktable would be what has the image management features of Lightroom essentially, whereas Raw Therapy is just a raw processor. Then, okay.
Yeah, Raw Therapy is the raw processor. Then
How long do you keep your files for? Developed them and done the post editing. You don't need to go back in there, and you're not doing it professionally. How long do you need those files? So what I'm saying is, when you change over to one of these ones that Dennis is using, and it may not be compatible, you might not have to be compatible because you're not going to use them anymore because you've got them in JPEG.
yeah, but
Yeah.
your raw files are coming straight out your camera. Whatever camera you use, Canon, Nikon.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I know that, but once you've done all that and you've done the post editing and all that.
Well, I know where you're coming from, Jimmy. The thing of it is like, I've got images that I haven't touched now in 8 years, and I find myself actually, as we speak, going through them because I need some different sort of artwork for my walls. And so I find myself going through those images at different points.
Yeah.
Well, like on my show yesterday, we had Pat on the show, and he was talking about a book that just came out, a 300 and some page, or was it 400-page book? Practice.
Almost a 400-page book of high-end cars, basically.
And at the last minute, he was emailed and asked for some images to submit for this book. Well, that was images all the way back to 2008. You know what I'm saying? So you find yourself just at different points for whatever you may want to do.
Yeah.
Like you don't necessarily know what you want to do in 5 years. You know, you might, I don't know, get a new house. I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
Do you ever go back and edit old photos? Like for you do it for clients and that. You give it the image to the client, they love it and all that. Now you've got it on your hard drive. How long do you keep it on there before you say forget it? Because you're not going to change it because the client's accepted the way it is.
Right. Yeah.
You want it for something else later on down
Yeah.
the road, though.
Yeah, that's it. And it's a personal choice. Now, there's some photographers that say, you know what, if I haven't touched that image in 3 years, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm talking about the RAW files. I'm not talking about the JPEG. The
Yeah.
JPEG will
Right.
be
Yeah.
the RAW.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think the difference is if you're doing your own personal photography, whereas if you're a commercial photographer, you know, like you're shooting portraits or whatever, if they don't do anything in a few years, it doesn't matter to you. I mean, you're not going to pull that back up anyway. So if the client doesn't use it, you get rid of it. But for your own stuff, you
That's
want
what
to hang on to it because you might want it in 10 years.
Even though, see, even with that analogy, it's still a personal choice because that's still my work. And so depending on what you're doing,
Yeah.
you know, you might want to display that, like in Pat's case, like you know, 2008's been a while, and you know, those are client images, sure, but hey, at the last minute, he had an opportunity to make some money off of those old images. Now, take the money out of it, you just don't know. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So had he chucked those images,
So you still have those images, regardless of the RAW files. They'll just be JPEGs or TIFFs.
yeah, you could. It depends. You know, all that is so personal, man. Like however you want to say it.
And I think that's the issue. I know with me is I download the raw file, dump it into Lightroom or whatever, and then I edit it. So I make all I move the sliders and everything, and I get it the way I like it, and then it's automatically saving it as the Adobe proprietary format. And then if I print it out or save it as a JPEG or a TIFF, yeah, then I've got that. But all those multiple copies or all this stuff with the tweaks and all that stuff, I would have to go back. You know, I would either have to convert them all to PNGs or TIFFs and do it, but I have to do that extra step because I just can't take the Adobe, all those working files that aren't really in a final format yet, but are just saved in the library under the catalog. I have to do something to all those to move it over to a different platform. Now, it's not a huge deal. You can do it over time, like you said, Wes, but I mean, there's that momentum that, I mean, Adobe knows, you know, if people do all their stuff in there, if they've got 5 or 10 years worth of stuff, the momentum is like, I don't want to go through all that crap again. I'm just going to keep paying my $10 a month.
And, yeah, see, that's where a suite like On1 is invaluable because On1 reads all those files that are connected from Adobe.
Yeah.
So you just save everything the way it is. You point to that folder, and whatever's in that folder, On1 is reading. At least the software that I'm using reads that.
Yeah.
Now that's software that I've had for years now. It's out. You know, it's been upgraded since. I haven't paid for those upgrades, but it still works. It functions. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so that's all. These things are very personal, right?
Yeah.
Like it's just a matter of, okay, take for instance audio, right? You know, some of us save cassette tapes. Some of us are still into vinyl. Some are, you know what I'm saying? And we save whatever it may be that we can still play that format on. I mean, I have a tape deck and a Laserdisc player, for Christ's sake, that I have held on to for 30 years. Had no idea. Like, what am I doing with this thing? I have not used it in 30 years until now. Boom. Right? And now it's like this year it's been like the best thing. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
And that's why the subscription model works so well for companies like Adobe. Because you just pay a little bit each month. It gives you access to the full, you know, without having to pay $1,000 like you were faced, Dennis. And, you know, they didn't offer, you had to buy either the whole thing or
I had the complete suite, which was about 800.
Yeah.
And then suddenly it stops working because I got a new computer with a different.
So Adobe's like, okay, well, we're just going to turn our $1,000 software into a $10 a month subscription. And after 7 or 8 years, because people pay for upgrades and stuff anyway, so over a few years, they actually end up making more.
Yeah, they wanted 150 out of me to upgrade to the new
Yeah.
operating system. And I thought, well, now's the time.
So it's easy. You pay your $10 a month, $15 a month is always up to date. You're getting the latest features and everything's pushed through.
Yeah.
Then you get used to it.
I'm quite happy now with the free software because I think it works absolutely fine.
Oh yeah.
I can't see any difference between Photoshop.
There probably isn't. It's just a matter of what you're used to using and how much you're invested, whether it's a real investment or just a perceived investment. I think for most people, it's a perceived investment and it's not worth the hassle. So they're just going to keep doing what they're doing because it's only $10 a month.
I think somebody, one of the boffins, had turned the GIMP into very much like Lightroom or Photoshop. They made the GUI virtually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So anyone who was using Photoshop or Lightroom can now just get that version of the GIMP, and all the buttons and sliders are all the same. You know.
Yeah. I'm tempted now with this Black Friday sale of $70. I don't think I would do that, but it might be the motivation for me over the next 4 to 5 months to transition. Like, still pay my $10 a month, but have a hard date that I'm going to be switched. If I'm going to make the decision, I'm going to switch by, say, May. I'm only 5 months in, so I'm still less than the $70. And I've made a switch, so I can put it on my calendar as kind of like, here's the stop date.
So what are you going to switch to? The Darktable or?
If I were to do it, it would be that. Yeah, it would be Darktable and GIMP. Yeah, that would be, and I'd have to learn GIMP, which
it's not that bad because just watch the YouTube, whatever you want to do.
That's the thing. So I just have to figure out. I can do a lot of what I want to do just in Darktable, probably the basic stuff, and then to get fancier, go into GIMP.
Yeah.
I think GIMP is closer to Lightroom than Darktable is closer to, or GIMP is closer to Photoshop than Darktable is to Lightroom.
Okay. All right. So there's no direct.
And that might be just because I'm more involved in Lightroom in general. So
Yeah.
Photoshop is confusing to me no matter whether it's GIMP or real Photoshop. And I kind of have to plod along anyway.
Do you know what I have in Photoshop? Sometimes I go over the switch and do the curves and then do blemishes, like the hotspot and that. And sometimes I'll go to it to get the application part and it won't work. It's like, why won't it work? Sometimes it does, sometimes it don't. Obviously, I'm doing.
Yeah. That's been my story. There's Rui. Hey, Rui, I've taken Charlie for a walk. That's been my history with Photoshop too. Is I've stumbled around in it a few times with some success, but I really haven't dedicated much time to it because I was able to do 95% of what I wanted to do on a regular basis within Lightroom. I just pull up Lightroom, move some sliders, crop. I can do all that pretty easily in Lightroom. And I've done a couple things in Photoshop, but I really haven't had most I've used Photoshop has been editing TIFF files from scans.
Right.
And that's just to get it to the basics so I could dump it into the Lightroom and finish it off.
I used to write Photoshop for the spot healing and the whatever, the spot removal and that. Mainly those two and the curves. Then I get out and go back into Lightroom because most of my stuff's done in Lightroom.
Yeah. So it's
now there is other plugins that I've used that are kind of now standalone apps. Portrait Pro is one of them. I don't know if you've ever heard of them.
okay.
But Portrait Pro is another one that does a lot of those Photoshop-ish things. I mean, anything geared towards portraits, I'm kind of, you know what I'm saying? You basically a lot of this software that tries to do Photoshop things to make it simple. You map the eyes, you map the mouth, you map the nose, and sometimes the outside of the face, the chin, and the cheeks, and it kind of does the rest for you. You can do a lot of different little clever things. You can, slim down someone's face. You could slim down their neck. You could do their shoulders.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Different little things. So you can kind of morph some things to a degree. You can add makeup. You can get really good with the makeup in Portrait Pro, for Christ's sake. You can take someone that don't even have makeup and make them look like they're Tammy Faye Baker, for Christ's sake.
At the end of it, does it look like the person?
I'm sorry?
At the end of the post-editing, does it look like the person after you
No.
Great.
I was gonna say, somebody wanting to look like Tammy Faye Baker is not necessarily a goal to shoot for.
Take some of her photographs. And she's older, lady, younger than me, but she had creases on her neck. And I
Yeah.
thought, I'm going to make them subtle. She said, no, take them out. I said, no, that's not you. You've got them in there. I'll make them a little bit slider so you don't notice them. But when you look at your photograph, it still has to say that is you.
Yeah. Yeah. There's certainly, you get people with pencil necks.
Yeah.
You get people with longer necks. I have no neck. But you get people with longer necks, and there's been some women that have those real dark creases like you do in your hand, on their neck, because that's where they get it. And you have to do whatever you can. Another. It sounds like a fetish, but I pay attention to people's armpits. They're tough, man.
Underneath.
You can get some people's armpits that look like elbows, just really, and then some people have, nice smooth armpits.
Yeah.
Well, the other thing is, a lot of women, they just sit in their seat, and you have to say to them, can you sit up and stretch up? So it brings the middle part in, because otherwise you have to use that Justify to slip down a bit.
But there's software now where you kind of map stuff out, and they have, so you can adjust the body, you can change the backgrounds. They even have suites now that are geared towards buildings. So there's a lot of different things you can do to get around Photoshop and do really similar work without all the confusion,
In fact, Joe, you could make Shrek's wife look gorgeous.
Yeah, you could. At least a little more. You could change her color. If she doesn't, you could make her purple. I mean, yeah, you can make her purple with green eyes. You know what I'm saying? So,
Excellent. My type of girl.
yeah. But yeah, there's a lot of ways to kind of, because I can do Photoshop, but boy, I'm really sitting there. Oh,
Yeah.
It's fun to have someone like Pat sitting right here and just going.
That's all he does. Yeah. He does it. He uses Lightroom like we use Photoshop almost.
Yeah. He's just here, do this, and yeah, that's all you got to do. You're like, yeah, all right. Yeah. Show me on another image. Yeah, this one over here. Yeah, show me on that one.
And slow it way down. Yeah.
Okay, I'm good actually now. You know what I'm saying? You showed me on the 2 images I need to do, so I'm good. Thanks, pal. But yeah. By the way, just to give Pat a plug, man, that book just came out. It's 61 books on Amazon, and a good 60 or 70% of the work in there is Pat and another guy.
Yep. What's the name of the book? Marvelous Machines? Is that what it is?
Yeah, let me look it up on my Amazon. It's in my cart.
Yeah, because you saved it last.
So cool, man. I literally almost bought it after the
Yeah, I think what they did was they sent him a list of cars that they wanted to put in the book.
Yeah.
And said, do you have any images of these particular cars? And he went through and he's like, yeah, I got this. And he sent them all. And then now, of course, he's getting royalties for everyone now.
Ooh, it just went up. Now it's $63.42.
Yeah. What's it called?
Beautiful Machines by Blake Z. Wrong. Or something. RONG. Damn it just went up. But what cracks me up is what I talked about last night. There's used copies on here for $40. So how they're the book just came out, or I think Pat said it's still due to be launched, but somehow, if you're a book and you're not on Amazon, you're a fool, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's the way that works.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what's your show that you said you do?
Share a Beer Show, on 7 p.m. Eastern.
What is it? Share?
Share a Beer. Yeah.
I'm looking at the. Let me show. I'm going to share this screen of the book. I'm on the actual website, and hopefully it works because I'm using Chrome now.
Yeah, because there's 13 images on there that are showing the book, and that's Pat's work.
That's Pat's car right there, I think.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah. So, yeah, it looks like a fantastic book.
Yeah, it does.
And a lot of these cars in here. What did he say? There were 30 of them or 40? Something. I mean, it's an insane amount of cars were his.
Mhm.
Yeah. And it's a big book, and Pat says it's on nice heavyweight paper.
The book is, let me see here, it's 5 pounds, man.
So
5.5 pound book.
yeah. So this right here, that's Pat's work. Remember, he shared that image with us a couple years ago. So yeah.
It's a heck of an opportunity. And getting back to James's point earlier on how long should you save images, you just don't know what opportunity would rise later in the future. You know what I'm saying? What if you had an opportunity to make money with some images that you just took as snapshots? You know, and you're like, well, I've
Yeah,
got.
but the JPEG, I'm just thinking like the RAW files, because the RAW files take up more space. But the other, it depends on how much space is cheap nowadays. So yeah,
Hard drives are cheap, and they keep getting cheaper.
Yeah.
Keep getting cheaper. You bet. Yeah, you know what? On that point, Wes, you know what's amazing to me? We still use spinning drives. With all the advancements in technology, they keep making spinning drives better. Like spinning drives are so ridiculously reliable now.
Yeah. Oh, you can get a 5 terabyte drive for $105, under $100.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And you can get a 1 terabyte SSD drive for $100 now.
SSD's gotten really cheap now.
Yeah.
They're catching up. There'll be a point where I think we'll get rid of the spinning drives, but
Yeah.
it's a little ways off still.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Because
We've been saying that now for 10 years, easy.
Yeah.
You know, those spinning drives are going away, and they're still like, hey, yo, we're over here, man. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like, you know, you've got to give
the storage space is so cheap now. I mean, you could, and it's you literally get terabytes of storage for, $25 a terabyte.
Yeah, and it's funny too because with spinning drives, it used to be, boy, if you got a spinning drive, it had to be 7,200. You know what I'm saying? And now we're finding uses for the 5,400 drives, saving some money, and they're getting more efficient at reading those drives and speeding that up.
Mm-hmm.
So they're putting little solid states in there as that kind of immediate memory. You know what I'm saying? They're doing pretty clever things.
Yeah, so the cache, they're using solid state drives in there as cache.
Mm-hmm.
For whatever.
It's pretty.
Have you got a Fusion drive in your iMac?
No, I don't. No.
It's not got both spinning and SSD.
No, I don't.
I went and bought a terabyte drive, and I just cloned the whole system onto it.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah, and now the iMac boots up in about 30 seconds.
Yeah, that's what I hear, man. I hear when you do that, it's just like, oh.
Yeah, it boots up fast. I mean, my new computer, I don't have a spinning drive. I have two separate 1 terabyte SSDs. And
I bought a 2 terabyte spinning drive as a backup.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, just in case, because when SSDs fail, you lose everything, don't you?
Yeah. And I do the same thing. I have a regular drive that's just hooked up that I back up to. But as far as in the computer itself,
Yeah.
just SSDs.
Yeah, I'm really impressed with the iMac now. It was taking about 1 minute 25 seconds to boot up, and now it takes 30 seconds.
Were you shutting yours off every day or something? Or?
Yeah, I don't bother leaving it on. I shut it down every night. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I literally never turn mine off.
Yeah. Right.
Turn mine off every now and again just to reboot it.
Yeah. I'll reboot it every once in a while. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm the same way, Joe. I leave mine running 97% of the time. The only time it gets shut off is if there's a power outage, or I may turn it off every once in a while. But other than that, yeah, I just reboot it every couple of days, and it stays on. So, all right. Well, speaking of staying on, let's stay on task here and look at some photos.
All right. Yeah.
Whoa. Whew. I'm getting good at this. So we're gonna start with this because I'm getting hungry, and this is only making me hungrier. This is the one from last week. Last one from last week.
Oh yeah.
It was pizza.
Wow, there's quite a few photos up here then.
Yeah, there are quite a few. So Wes has got you were over there just 2 weeks ago then, basically, huh, Wes?
Yeah, it was 2 weeks ago.
Nice. So Fort Clint, is this over by St. Augustine?
No, it's north of Jacksonville in the what's the name of that place called there? Fernandina Beach area.
Oh, Fernandina Beach. Okay. Yeah.
It's right on the Georgia-Florida border.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
All right. Yeah.
Now you've shot this before, right?
No, this was my first time going here.
Oh, was it? Okay.
But it looks. That's what I thought. It looks similar, kind of, to
To another place.
what you had over at St. Augustine, the fort.
This fort's a lot newer than the one in St. Augustine. This
Yeah.
is from the 1800s.
Okay. All
The
right.
one at St. Augustine is 1700s.
Okay. Yeah. Those are some big guns there.
Mm-hmm.
Big guns. Yeah, that's the gun show. Yeah.
So okay. Neat. It looks like it was a nice day. Nice clouds and.
Yeah, it was really cold and windy, but
Okay.
the sun was out, but it was cold and windy.
Mhm.
I know.
Oh,
the
that's a
film.
nice shot. I like that. Yeah, nice.
Yeah, that one's cool.
Yeah, nice. Nice framing of the flag in through the entryway there.
Yeah, they just happened to be having this special thing. It was like the history of the American soldier. So they had like different periods, and they each had their own sort of area. So they had, Revolutionary War all the way up to like Desert Storm kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
What was that flag called? Do you know? I know they all had nicknames or something, didn't they?
Yeah.
I
I
don't
don't know
know.
how many stars are on this one.
Yeah.
This has got to be from what, the 1800s at some point. Yeah.
Yeah, well, the fort was built in 1847, so it's probably from around that time.
Okay. Yeah. Neat. Yeah, it's neat. I like that. It's nice framing there. Okay, here's a panorama.
Is this a stitch, Wes?
Yeah, it's probably 12 or 14 images stitched.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Taking it 35 millimeters each one. Wow. Yeah, and then just overlap. Okay, neat. Looking out over the bay there.
That's Georgia over there. You can see a little bit in the corner on the right-hand side there.
Oh, right over here. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, okay. Okay, I got it. So Georgia, and then it turned into Florida down over here. Yeah. Huh. There you go. Yeah, that's a neat one. That came out. Yeah. Can't tell. I don't see any obvious artifacts. That's nice.
And that flagpole.
Oh, yeah.
I edited that out of some of the images because it was annoying. But I left it on this one.
Yeah, that's really the only obvious sort of. Other than that, it's damn good stitch.
Yeah. That's nice. And on both sides.
this is a nasty football game, man. The Patriots and the Cowboys.
Oh, yeah, in the rain.
It is just, I would hate to be playing that game or in the fan as one of the fans.
So this must be like a static display showing different communication techniques or whatever over the time.
Yeah, this is just like a World War II
Okay.
area where they had World War II related stuff, and
Mhm.
saw the cameras there, so I thought, yeah,
Oh, okay. Yeah.
grab that.
You know what would be cool is if they could somehow hook that phone up so you could kind of hear what it was like to communicate on one of, 'cause I know like the connections would be bad sometimes with those, you know what I'm saying? It'd be just kind of
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah, we take what we have for granted as far as instant communication anywhere in the world, pretty much. And
Well, because what's kind of funny is with all the advancements with these stupid phones, making a call on these phones ain't any better. Like, you know what I'm saying? The worst part of the phone is the phone.
takes great pictures, not so good phone calls.
I mean, a phone call, right? They'll have like when they have their announcements, or what do they call it when they do these media events, to announce
Press
these-
conference.
Yeah, the press conferences. They'll spend an hour talking about it and not one single minute about how it actually makes phone calls.
Yeah. Well, phone calls are the last thing that are important. Nobody.
Yeah, they're terrible at making phone. You know what I'm saying? You still have all these. Oh, can you hear me? I don't know. You're cutting out. Like you hear people doing that all the time. Oh, you're cutting out. You're cutting out. You're cutting out. Like,
Yeah.
They're going dead stones as well.
it's absolutely crazy. Oh man.
Oh, okay. Nice close up. Did you do a little, not HDR, but bump up the clarity a little bit on this one?
Yeah,
A little bit. Yeah. That's nice.
actually, yeah, this actually is an HDR.
It is an HDR? Okay.
Yeah. A lot of them I did. I just kind of had the camera set in HDR mode just to have it if I wanted it, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I got a big enough memory card. Back to that storage is cheap kind of thing.
Yeah. Yep.
Mhm.
Yeah. It's definitely not like it was even 5 years ago. Okay, from one of the towers there. That's a pretty narrow inlet, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, it's not wide at all.
Oh, that's a good place for a fort. That's a neat.
Oh, that's interesting.
Oh yeah, that's nice. Nice perspective shot on the driftwood.
Just walk down the beach there a little bit.
Mm-hmm. With the 18 to 35.
Yeah, that was the only lens I brought. I just
Wow. Okay.
brought that lens and used it.
Yep. Let's see here.
Well, actually, no, I brought the long lens, but I only took it out for this, basically.
Okay. For this one.
If you remember, several years ago, Simi posted some shots of a pier when he went to Jacksonville.
Okay. Yep.
Well, this is what's left of it now.
Oh, after the hurricane. Yeah.
Yeah. Apparently, I was like, oh, I'll go check out that pier that Simi shot, and it's not there anymore.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I do remember that. Yeah, he was down there about 3 years ago, like 2015, something like that.
This is cool too. I like the feel of this one for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Like it feels like real like turbulent. Real,
Yeah, it does. It does.
That was the one good thing about the windy days. It was really pretty violent out there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It feels violent. It has
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Which is good for the story of this. That there's nothing left due to lots of stuff like this. Yeah, that's a good shot. Okay, so here's Dennis experimenting here. We got capture one. Hey, Pat.
Hello.
How's it going?
All right.
Good. Good.
Your ears must have been buzzing.
Oh,
Yeah, talking about your pictures in the book.
oh. Yeah, for some reason I got mixed up on what time it started, so I kind of jumped in a little late here, but
Okay, yeah, no worries, no worries. Glad you could join. All right, Dennis. So this is C1. Okay, Capture One plus GIMP.
Yeah, but I only framed it up in GIMP.
Okay. All right. So you just did the frame in GIMP. Okay. All right. And do we have a comparison here? Darktable in GIMP. So let's see. A little. Okay.
It's lighter. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, but I was thinking because I was just doing them one at a time. It's hard to say what level to take the brightness. So obviously that's adjustable. You can make them all look the same.
Oh, and then you have raw therapy in there as well.
Say the colors in Darktable look a little better to me.
Yeah, actually, Darktable. At first, I couldn't make up my mind whether I liked Capture One best or Darktable, but I swing towards Darktable.
I kind of the one you put in raw therapy, I like actually the raw therapy.
Yeah. I think all this free software works really well. I mean, not that much difference between the expensive £600 worth of Capture One and what these open source can do.
Yeah, but one day they're going to slam you and put a price on it.
No, it's freeware. It's always been open source stuff. It's licensed, but it's licensed that you can use it and you can change it as well if you good. You can get your name up on the website.
Yeah. So do you like the raw therapy one the best, Joe?
It's kind of either the raw just the pure GIMP, or the Darktable. Me personally, I don't like as much. The raw therapy or just the regular GIMP by itself. On my end, my Mac is showing the Darktable. The colors are a little too over exaggerated and kind of blown out on the top end of those reds, right?
Oh, okay, like up here.
Yeah. Like just
Yeah, I found that the sliders operate. The Capture One, the one you have to buy, the sliders seem to go sharpening very quickly, whereas the GIMP and raw therapy were more linear. You could take them up more gradual.
Yeah, because there's still some detail there with the raw therapy on those parts of the blades of the flower that are bent.
Yeah.
You still see some detail in there, but the Darktable, it's just gone. That detail is just gone.
Yeah, I see what you're talking about.
The regular GIMP, those details are still there.
Yeah. Interesting comparison. Okay, now we've seen this one before. You did some wacky thing with this. It got like a bazillion views and all that stuff.
I inverted the colors once, and it got put into Explore.
So this is the same image. Just
this is the same raw file, but just dumped straight into. I think this was Darktable. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All
this
right.
would be a decent little hallway photo, man. You know what I'm saying? You ever had that weird, odd space on one of your walls somewhere? This would fill that in pretty well, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. What made that one bend was it was a 15mm lens, which
okay. Yeah.
collapsed it all in. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so that's in Darktable. Okay. That looks nice.
This one is Darktable, and that was taken with a 50mm wide open.
Okay. Yeah. And just a single
shot there.
image. Yeah. So not much depth of field.
This works.
No. But it's got that glow
Mm-hmm.
from that 50mm f1.2.
Yeah. In Evoca. Yeah.
The free one? Dennis, is this the free one?
Yeah, dark table's free. Yeah, free to use.
Oh, interesting. So what do you think, Pat? Are you gonna switch to Dark Table and GIMP? I say ditch Photoshop.
Yeah, ditch Photoshop, man. You know,
It's not getting you anywhere.
I mean, where are you going with that?
Yeah.
You know, what are you gonna do with
Give it
that?
the hip kids.
Yeah, that's old man stuff. You know, GIMP is the future. And then you can put these cool frames around all your
Yeah.
photos.
Yeah, another one for dark table.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Yeah, I love the colors on this. This is great.
Yeah,
Yellow and purple or blue. You see, Pat was just switching. He was just deleting Photoshop from his computer and downloading.
yeah, he's downloading GIMP as we speak.
Yeah. He's like, I don't need Photoshop anymore.
Yeah. What do you need Photoshop for?
Yeah.
You know, you don't need Photoshop for all these old cars. I mean, you know, you gotta get, you know.
I've still never even really used even Lightroom. One day
Yeah.
maybe, but
Yeah, that's what we were saying. You use Lightroom about as much as we use Photoshop.
yeah.
Yeah.
So here we got I guess same flower but different location, right? Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is that your new logo?
No, that's Wilbur. That's GIMP logo.
That's the GIMP mascot.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's the secret handshake if you use GIMP.
Yeah, now this one is a 10 stack. Do you remember a few weeks ago I used that Zareen stack software, which you got to pay for?
Yep.
Yeah, well, this one's the free version.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what's the biggest difference? Is it the number of images you can stack?
No, I just put it was a 10 stack what I'd put into that Zareen stacker.
Mm-hmm.
I put the same 10 images into this combined ZP. The only
Okay.
thing,
All right. So this is the free one that goes into GIMP. All right.
yeah, this is Microsoft only, and I thought it stacked it just as well as the one you got to pay for.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty good.
Yeah. So that's freeware. You just download it and use it. Now,
Yeah.
can't use it on Mac though.
Just Mac only?
No, it's
It's Windows only. Okay.
Microsoft only.
Oh, okay. Well, I can check that out then.
Yeah. So I done this on the laptop and then I dumped it into the Mac.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah. It came out pretty good.
Oh, that's mine.
Yeah, okay. Okay. Yeah, you were saying you were going to a car show this week.
Yeah. Did you order one, Jimmy?
I did that
Did
black
you
and
order
white.
one while you was there?
No, someone else flipping cars for $75,000. And I thought, sod that. I walked off. But this one I did in color, and then I just switched the button because I thought Joe might enjoy the black and white one.
Yeah.
yeah. Thank you very much.
Was this in like the convention center or something?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a lot of room down there, a lot of cars, all different cars. I was expecting some old cars as well, but they didn't have them.
Okay.
And I put these details on this as well. It should come out with how I took it.
I think you got Pat's getting worried here.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Well, the thing is, I wanted to work on, like the low light thing in the vent place. So I didn't use a flash.
Okay. And you used the 40 millimeter. Yep. 2.8. Yeah. That's a nice dashboard shot. Like that.
That was printed.
Neat.
Now this one,
Wear your seatbelt.
with this, that red is the carpet, but I saturated it a little bit so it looks like danger. But the funny thing is, if you read what it says on that safety warning, it says, don't forget to wear your eyeglasses and your helmet and something else. So
Yep.
if you can- that's it.
Yeah. So this is a Super Morgan. Is that what it is?
I don't know. I didn't worry about the names. I just went around looking.
Looks like it's maybe one of the Morgan three-wheeler things.
Oh, okay. All right.
Jimmy,
You got the airplane switches.
What,
Jimmy,
Dennis?
you got to reverse this for the English viewers.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Steering wheel's on the wrong side.
Yeah.
It's an English car too.
Yeah. It is.
Well, I didn't want the whole thing. I wanted a little bit of it, you know. Now this one, what I did was around the car, I used the gradient tool and I think the the radial filter, because I wanted to blur out like that carpet there was kind of like more red. So I darkened that out. So it took because I didn't want it to take away from the car. So now you can see the car pop and everything around it. I kind of like faded out.
Okay, so you kind of desaturated all the other stuff around it.
Yeah, if you put a circle around the car. Worked on the outside of it to make it not so prominent. So
Mhm.
when you look at the picture, you see the car. Your eyes are not going to drift off.
Yeah.
And that carpet was so red when I took the picture and looked at it, your eyes go towards the carpet. So what I did, I desaturated the carpet, so now you're focused on the car.
Yep.
And there's a couple of people there. There's a bird in the car, and then there's a man talking to her. And I kind of like that because it tells a story.
Yeah.
She's like, honey, I want this. And he says, I don't know about that.
Yeah, it is. The tough part when shooting cars, though, and Pat can tell you, but the tough part is reflection. So
Yeah.
getting the red out of the bottom half of that car is challenging.
I did use a polarizer as well.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah. But yeah, you do see some artifacts of that, just
yeah,
fringes around here. Yeah.
Yeah, reflections.
the bottom half of the car is just a big red reflection. I mean, you could just see the red carpet out of the bottom of the mirror on the, but it's still a good job,
Yeah. But yeah, that's the challenging part, because then you got to go through. How do you fix that, Pat? What's the easiest way to do that?
Well, what I typically do is I'll make like a layer and then mask it and then do like in Photoshop, you can do it where it adjusts the color.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's like a color layer or whatever. And then I just take a brush and kind of grab what's near it and brush it in over top. And so like the red reflection underneath the headlight, you can make that where it just be blue. So it'd be like, it would end up looking probably like a slightly different shade of blue or a little bit lighter or darker, but it's all blue. So yeah. But I do that a lot too, where I'll go through and kind of subtly brush out some of the more distracting colors in the background. Like if it's next to like a fire curb, like a no parking curb, or like a bright red curb, you can just kind of grab the pavement around it, brush it in with that color layer, and then do the same thing in the reflection by grabbing the paint color of the car, and then it kind of makes it disappear, or makes it look like it started off gray, and then it doesn't have that reflection or anything. So it's a little
Some of the
tedious.
colors is quite healing to get rid of it. Then some of it I want it to be left, but it looked like it was in an event.
Yeah. I mean, there's no way to. I mean, unless you were to clip the car out completely, you're not going to hide the fact that it's an event. So there's no reason to try.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, you don't want to, go crazy too.
Okay, so here's the color version.
All right.
And that
You're getting that carpet, that stuff there. I've lightened it down so it wasn't too strong in the picture.
And I have intimate experience with those cars right there, as you'll see in the next pictures. Well, after this one, yeah.
In the next picture.
Yeah.
I'm curious. I don't even know what that is.
It's a caramel.
Yeah, the steering wheel.
It looks like that.
I just like the
Okay.
picture,
So yeah, coming from the guy that shoots. What is that there?
Yeah, I'm not much of a car guy, but steering wheel.
There you go.
Yeah.
So that's the same car that he had, the white car in the last couple pictures. That's the new McLaren GT. No, like customers haven't actually started taking delivery of them yet, but I actually started shooting for the McLaren dealership in the last couple of weeks,
Okay.
shooting all their cars. And it's a case where they just kind of toss me the keys and I have them as long as I need them to get it done, you know. And most of the photo shoots were just around the corner, but this one they actually wanted, since it's their newest model and, you know, people haven't taken delivery, they wanted some more pretty shots. So I took it out to this location I use a lot.
Mhm.
And so I had that car. I actually drove it of actual seat time, probably like 40 minutes.
Mhm.
And then, you know, all the moving around and stuff for the photo shoot. And I shot it into sunset. So then I got to drive it back at night, which was kind of interesting too, just to see how it
wow.
all, you know, how it is different and everything like that. But
So, and the thing that I know that Pat's not talking about, when he drove it, the traffic in the area that he was at isn't really so that you can like really gun it or anything.
well, this was towards the end of the day, and this little area wasn't too bad. So I got on it. I mean, I
Oh,
didn't
you
like it go
did?
crazy, but yeah.
Right.
With
You
all
were
these
able
McLarens I've
to-
been driving, I at least give them like a little bit of a boost, but they're all so crazy fast that I don't want to get myself in trouble anyway.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, I got on this one all right.
Okay.
You have a lot of insurance in case you damage the car.
I have business insurance that I got, so I have like $1 million in damages I can do before it.
Yeah,
And then I'd have a
I'm
big
fine.
deductible
You
and
know,
everything,
how
but-
much is
Yeah.
this car? If I were to buy this new, how much would I pay for this?
I think 300
You
something.
see, you got 700 left over. You crash this, you still good.
Yeah, you can, you know, just wrap another one behind.
Yeah. Okay, that's one. I got 2 more today I can do. Come on. That's good.
Yeah. Bring it. Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to use that for the upgrade.
There we go.
It is sick.
Yeah.
So that paint job is insane. I think I might have shared that car before, but that's actual paint work.
Yeah.
It's not a wrap.
Is
thing.
it really? It's not a wrap?
No. And it's I don't
Wow.
know how they do like that metallic flip stuff with it brushed like that.
Yeah.
Sick.
Wow.
Because-
Very
and then
carefully.
And then that black has actually like a purple flake in it too that you can't really see in that picture.
Oh, you
And
can
then
see
the
a
other
little
side
bit
of the
over
cars,
here. Yeah.
yeah, and the other side of the cars, like the reverse, so it's mostly black with a little bit of the kind of whatever color change
Oh
stuff.
my gosh. Yeah.
So it's an
Probably
insane spec.
$50,000 paint job.
I would have looked at that and just took it for granted it was a wrap. I mean, I
Yeah.
wouldn't even questioned it.
Mm-hmm.
That's a damn good job.
So this is the what's that? The
The Senna
Senna, and up on the rack we have
720 and a 570.
okay. There you go.
So yeah, that I've shot a couple Sennas for him now, but they're just like out at the dealership. We haven't been able to take them off the site really because they're customer cars.
Yeah.
They didn't really want to move them too far, but those cars are just absurd.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a great shot too. That is.
And that's actually a good example. If you saw the before, I actually went through and knocked out a lot of the color in the background. It was kind of distracting and ugly, because it is, you know, that background is so cluttered that's the only way I could kind of get around it was by, you know, I didn't want to take out all the color because then it's obvious. But
Mhm.
Would they allow you to move some of that stuff, maybe?
I mean, probably. But the thing is, it's just kind of had to do it quick at the beginning of the morning. You know, I mean,
Okay.
if it was more of a planned out thing, yeah, we were probably
Okay.
would have.
So you kind of
area.
desaturated it a little bit then, basically.
Yeah, well, certain areas,
Yeah.
like little parts. You know, like I said, some of that stuff, because certain colors, especially bright red, if you make it completely black and white, it's actually very obvious that it didn't start off
Mhm.
gray.
Yeah.
Because there's like weird transitions in the colors and stuff, so
Yeah.
you kind of can't go too far with it. But
I would take any one of these 3 cars, no questions asked. I wouldn't be, you know. it's fine.
Right, did you add any lighting yourself, or was it just the light you used just what was available?
yeah, just available.
Yeah. That's.
So yeah, and there's that. I mean, that same paint job, just in a slightly different angle. How different it looks.
Wow. Because completely different. Yeah.
Yeah,
That is sick.
This
dude.
whole. I mean,
You can see the
so
purple with the-
in this one, it's all orange back here,
and kind of pink. Yeah,
and now it's that blue, cobalt blue almost. Yeah.
yeah, it's definitely not a paint job for the subtle.
No. Yeah. Look at that. Oh man, it's a beautiful automobile.
So this is where I'm shooting most of the cars I shoot for them, just on the top of a parking garage.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like not ideal, but kind of making the most of it. And this is just climbing up on a light pole, on the base of a light pole to get this angle, because I've been, like I said, driving the car there, so I can't exactly bring a ladder. I thought about dropping off a ladder ahead of time
Mm-hmm.
and then going and grabbing the car so I have access to a ladder while I'm doing it. The next day that I do a bunch of cars, I think I'm going to do that. But
Yeah.
I'm surprised they don't give you an escort driver. So he drives and you just worry about your photography.
yeah, well, I mean, they kind of wanted to, but I prefer not to do that because I enjoy driving them, first of all. But also, it's like, that's one more person they have to, be taken away from whatever else they could be doing at the dealership. So,
Yeah.
and considering they just be standing around most of the time.
Yeah.
And this particular car is so badass, dude. I swear. to
Yeah.
God.
Yeah. That's
I love the choices on this.
the colors, the wheels.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's like a limited. They did like the McLaren dealership in Denver did a Pikes Peak edition of like a handful of cars, and this is one of them. So it has like a little extra different stuff done to it, and like every option possible as far as like bare carbon fiber. And that exhaust up top, that car is so loud. Because that's the the exhaust pipes coming out of the back.
Yeah, out of the back of the over the wing.
Yeah, so I think it actually creates
So
more downforce
crazy.
that way.
I was
Too.
gonna say, it probably does create more downforce.
How long did it take you to photograph this car?
What's that?
How long did it take you to finish photographing this car?
I've been trying to get them done like within an hour, including driving back and forth for each car. Which it's a very short drive, but it is a little bit slower when I have to move around. Like this is a hardtop convertible, so I took some photos with the top up, some with it down,
Mhm.
and then I had to shoot the interior and engine and all that stuff down below in the shade.
Mhm.
So it's kind of a time consuming thing.
That's the part that actually slows you down.
Yeah.
Is because now you gotta, when you have someone there to at least position the car, you're like, okay,
Yeah,
just put it here, and you can still stay focused where you're at. But when you gotta, it's the same thing with people. When I
Yeah.
have to position you, it takes me out of my groove a little bit. So if I can work with a model that knows what she's doing, then that's just
Mhm.
one less thing I have to think about.
and I think there's some advantages. Like I like being able to put it exactly where I want, but there are times too where like I'll position it, jump out, and then realize like, oh, that isn't actually what I want. So then I have to get back and adjust it. And
Yeah.
But you're lucky also no other people were there. So you got the space.
yeah, I mean, this parking garage, like there's people on, it's a 3-story one is all. And the lower 2 levels, there's a bunch of people, but everyone wants to be in the shade. So
Yeah.
wants to be covered parking while they're at the office because it's just like an office building's parking garage. So, it works out well for me.
Yeah. Very nice. Yeah. That's. Oh, there we
Just
go.
kinda flip side, yeah. And that paint's pretty crazy too. I mean, it's just a solid color, but it's very hard to
Changes
capture.
colors. Yeah. This is got more green in it now. Yeah.
Yeah, and then like from some angles, it was really blue, and
Mhm.
they have like the craziest paintwork. McLaren
Yeah.
does.
But the choices on this car are sick.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it is understated yet not.
And I don't normally like stripes, but it actually works on this to me because it is such a crazy looking car that
All the angles, like the stripes, really work. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The wheel choice and the color of the wheels, and God, it's just sick.
Yeah. That's.
It looks so like aggressive, like
Yeah.
just sitting there. It looks
those
fast.
cars are very quick.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
it's like 2.80 to 60, something like that.
Oh, like a Corvette.
Like a Corvette.
Yeah, the 720S is a little bit quicker, which that's if I could choose one, it would be the 720S Spider. I've been driving those, and they're like 2.60 to 60. Apparently, if you put like sticky tires on them, they'll do like 2.3 with nothing else changed, just different tires.
Yeah. Wow.
In those different tires, you could buy a Chevy Blazer.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
The price difference in getting sticky and unsticky is a Chevy Blazer.
Yeah. You're not going to Discount Tires and say, I need sticky tires for my 720.
Oh, you can go there. I'm sure they'll put something on it. But
Yeah. You want spinners? I want spinners.
Yeah, some engineer thought of all these, different things with these wheels. But I need spinners, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Put some spoked wheels on there for me. How about some Daytons?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's a
Awesome.
beautiful car.
You imagine one of these damn things with spinners, Pat? That would be hilarious, actually. It would be hilarious.
Yeah. Be good way to troll some people.
Yeah, it would be
I think what would happen if McLaren saw that, they'd probably send somebody over to repossess the car. Sorry, you can't have this car anymore. Take your money back.
like just for a prank, one of these rich guys, if they would just take some spinners off of one of these exotics and just put it on there and show up to Cars and Coffee, I bet you everyone would just get the biggest kick out of it.
Yeah.
I bet you they would just completely roll.
Yeah, that's hilarious. That's good. Well, that's okay. Yeah, and here's your photo stream. So you've added a few more here. Oh, here's the front of that. I like that.
Yeah, that I had overcast for that day, so I kind of lucked out. It's just like a light haze and not really overcast.
Mhm.
But so like that photo right there in particular, like for being on top of a parking garage, I thought that was pretty like pristine looking.
Yeah, you're not getting a lot of glare.
Do you take many lenses?
I only had two, 135 millimeter, and then a 20 millimeter. That's all I've been using. Although I'm probably gonna buy a 35 tonight, so I don't know.
Which one?
The Sigma. The
Sigma?
Art.
The Art 35? Yeah. Yeah.
I used to have it and I got rid of it, but I think I need to get it again. So
Yeah. That was awesome. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that, Pat. My all of a sudden my Subaru Impreza and Chevy Volt just don't quite stack up to the McLaren. But, yeah.
well. Yeah, I don't exactly own one of those.
Hey, but you got to drive one now. Come on. That's cool. Thank you. That's awesome. That was good.
One of the customers' homes that I went to, literally Thursday, the lady was like, I had a carpet to deliver to him, a rug, and these rugs are always $15,000 or some ridiculous price for some, 10 by 12 rug, but. She was, just put it in the garage, and she opened the garage, and right then her daughter showed up because they wanted to, she wanted to look at Daddy's new Ferrari, and it was so badass, man. Oh, God. He had literally just got it.
Oh man!
And so he had left to do something, but it was one of those situations, Pat, where she was hot and the car was hot. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, oh. Wow. You know what I'm saying? Like, she was smoking hot. You know what I'm saying? The car, she's standing next to the car, and I'm like, oh, what a situation. And I couldn't take my phone out and take a picture. You know what I'm saying? Not in that situation. Oh my God, I wanted to.
Oh yeah. Well, no show next week. We got Thanksgiving coming up here.
No show.
Yeah, I know.
Oh.
What are you gonna do? I know. I didn't mean to ruin your week, Joe, but
oh man, come on, man.
You can join. You can come on. Yeah. But yeah, so we'll be back 2 weeks from now. Yep, we got probably be turkey leftovers. I'm thinking probably next Sunday. So. Everybody has a good Thanksgiving, except for you, Dennis, because you don't celebrate that.
No, we just miss out all the time in this country.
Yeah.
Like they don't have enough holidays, for Christ's sake.
Yeah, it's good.
We do, I think we do have the most holidays.
And Dennis has holidays every day,
Yeah, every day's a holiday.
Every day is a Sunday. And so Jimmy, he's in the same club now.
That's right, he is.
Yeah.
Yeah, but sometimes I forget what day it is.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You don't have to know what day it is. What's the point?
What's the point?
Jimmy and Dennis are kind of like that camel in that Aflac commercial. Guess what day it is?
Yeah.
Don't care what day it is. Yeah.
Well, I could tell Dennis was in a serious depression now that NASCAR is over. He even had to switch rooms. You know, it was like, oh,
Yeah, well, yeah, my son can, just commandeered my office and just they plugged the bots in so they could pick up Fox.
Okay.
Yeah.
They're probably watching the Patriots. Yeah. Is the game over
Yeah.
now, too? It's
No,
over?
no, it's still going actually.
Okay. All right.
It's in the final seconds of this game actually.
Yeah, but he's he has to go to work at 5:15 in the morning, so he's gone to bed now.
Yeah. Get a good solid 3.5 hours of sleep. He'll be ready to go.
Yeah, nothing stopping him tomorrow.
Yeah.
Behind you with local time.
Yeah. 12:25. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's Monday already for Dennis. Yeah.
yeah, that's it. Yeah, it's Monday already. Yeah.
What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? All right, guys. Hey, good show. Everybody enjoy. Have a good week. Don't eat too much turkey for everybody. Even you, Dennis. You can get a turkey and pretend it's Thanksgiving if you want.
Yeah, but
You're feeling left out.
people prefer not to have a turkey. They prefer to have something else like steak.
Yeah.
Well, this country, it'd be a curry, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm not all that keen on turkey. It's okay. I'm glad it's twice a year.
Yeah.
yeah. I don't have turkey very often.
All right. Well, enjoy the week and or the next 2 weeks actually, and we'll be back. What is that? The 2nd of December, whatever that is. 2 weeks from today. It's the 2nd.
Yeah.
December 2nd.
Is that 2 weeks? Okay.
I think it is. Yep. So no, the 9th. That's
Yeah,
it.
I was gonna say.
Yeah.
I thought.
Sunday
Yeah, I
is the
thought that
2nd.
was-
Yeah.
yeah.
Next Sunday. The Sunday after is the 9th. So yeah. So 2 Sundays for today, and you guys have a good week. Enjoy.
No, the 8th actually.
The 8th. Okay. December 8th. We will
the
be
9th
back
would be
December 8th.
Monday. The
All
9th
right.
would be Monday.
Sounds good.
See you guys.
Later, guys.
Yeah.
See ya.
Dennis, I'll give you a call tomorrow.
Yeah, okay, Jimmy.
See ya.